Hi folks, so in this video what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making this desk tidy here that we can see here on Solidworks. Okay, it's a simple introductory exercise to Solidworks, and it's going to teach us some basic tools such as the boss extrude tool, the cut extrude tool, and some simple sketching tools as well. And we're also going to do little kind of fillets around the edge. It's a nice little exercise to get us started there. And you can see the little holes here for the pencils where they're going to slot in. Pens, and we've got two little ruler slots here, and even on the bottom we've actually put in a slot there. If I go into the different view, we put in a little slot for a rubber to go in underneath and a little pencil sharpener. Okay, so it's a little smart way of showing us how to use I suppose what we would call a desk tidy. Okay, so there we have it guys, that's what we're going to start with today. So I'm going to close this down now, and I'm going to start here by clicking on File, clicking on New, clicking on Part, and clicking on OK. Now that's going to bring us into our modeling screen. Now just to start off in the modeling screen, what we're going to come over here is our design tree. Up here is our tabs or our toolbar, okay, and mainly we're going to be focused up here on the features toolbar and the sketch toolbar. If you think of the sketch toolbar, the sketch is everything to do with 2D and features is everything to do with 3D. Okay, so sketch 2D, features 3D. Here on the left hand side then is our design tree. So these are like our planes of reference. Our front plane would be in relation to our vertical plane if we think of orthographic projection. Our top plane is the horizontal plane, and our right plane would be the end vertical plane. And you can toggle these on. Every time you click it, you can see a little box opens up here. If you click show, all of them will come into show here. Now, in regards to actually zooming in and zooming out, all you do is you rotate the scroll wheel on your mouse forward and backwards. To spin it around, if you hold down the mouse and keep it held down, I say the mouse, hold down the scroll wheel, press it as a button, you can spin the object around. And if for some reason the object ever goes off your screen, let's say like you're zooming in and you actually accidentally have your mouse pointer over here and it goes off the screen, a really handy shortcut is if you press the space bar, click on that, and then this little orientation box will come in somewhere on your screen. If you click on this little symbol here with isometric, it brings it back to normal. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to click on all these and we're going to hide all of them. So click hide, click hide. Now these are like sheets of paper. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a cube to start off with. So we're going to start by clicking on the top plane and clicking on sketch. So when I click on top plane, this little box that opens up, it gives me a couple of icons: normal to, zoom to selection, show, and it also gives us this one here, sketch. I want to select the top plane and sketch. So to do that again, top plane, sketch, and it's going to bring up the top plane like a sheet of paper to me. I'm going to go up here to my sketch tab, click, and then I'm going to select a center rectangle. Now if center rectangle isn't already selected for you, click the drop down arrow and you have a selection of different types of rectangles you can draw. We're going to start with the center rectangle. Click on that, and I'm going to start on the origin. When you hover over the origin, it will go orange. Okay, when it goes orange, you can see I'm located, I'm underneath it now, I'm in line with it, but I'm not on it. If you hover over the origin, click once, let go, drag away, and we can make our rough shape. You can make a rectangle this way, this way. I want to make a square, so I'm going to make a rough square like that and click, let go. Okay, now the tool is still active. You'll see a pencil symbol with a little center rectangle beside it. To deactivate the tool, if you look at your keyboard, top left of your keyboard, you'll see the escape key, ESC. If you click on that, the tool will change back to the pointer. Now I want all these sides to be equal. Okay, I want them, because it's a square, I want them all the same length. So I'm going to add a relation to it now. Now on your keyboard, if you click and you look for, if you look for the control key, which is the bottom left of your keyboard usually, it'll be with the letter CTRL. If you click and hold down on that, or press and hold down on that, and then select all the outside lines. Click, click, you'll see the lines are going in here. Click, click. And you'll see here I've got line 1, 2, 3 and 4 all selected, and the only reason I was able to select them all at the same time is because I held down the control key. Now at this point, when you have them all selected, let go of the control key, and what you're going to do is you're going to come over here and we're going to make all those lines equal. This is adding a relation. Click on equal, and you'll see there that all of the lines are now equal and they have this equal symbols beside them. Okay, really handy way of making all our lines equal. Now I need to dimension one of those lines, so if I come up here to my sketch tab, select smart dimension, no need to click the drop down arrow, click on smart dimension, and all I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on this line, drag out, click again, and type in straight away 100, I want it to be 100, and press the enter key in your keyboard. And now you can see here it's gone from blue to black. We are fully defined. You'll see the sketch is fully defined. The tool is still active on a dimension tool, so I want to deactivate that. Top left of your keyboard, escape. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to now make it a 3D cube. So I've done my 2D sketch. I'm now going to go to my features tab. So in features, you can see I have a lot of them are grayed out, but I have a swept boss base, a revolve, and extrude boss base. The extrude is the one I want. So if I click on that, you'll see here automatically it's going to bring me into a view where I can kind of click and grab the arrow and pull it up. I can pull it down, doesn't really matter. But because it's a cube, I need all the sides to be 100. So you'll see here over on the left hand side, this is where I kind of have my conditions. Now we're looking at direction 1. So blind is a condition, and we're going to set the distance here to 100. 100, press enter. And there you go, it's after going exactly 100 millimeters in height. And it's after extruding up 100 millimeters. That's our cube. Now to accept that, we would click on the green arrow. But before I do that, I'm going to show you just a little handy thing to learn here. Instead of blind, I could also do this. If you select the drop down arrow, you can see here with some other selections. Now these will be explained in other videos, but at this moment we're only using blind. But if I did mid-plane, let's say I selected mid-plane, watch what happens to our black square sketch. If I click on mid-plane, you can notice how the square sketch has gone into the middle of the object. And even though it's 100, what that means is the object has extruded up 50 upwards and 50 downwards, because I've done a mid-plane condition. Okay, so it's gone up 50 and down 50. It's still 100 overall, but our sketch is now in the middle. Now I don't want that, so I'm going to go back here instead, and I'm going to click on blind. I'm happy with that. Now that I've got my cube, I'll click on the green arrow to accept. Okay, now let's say you made a mistake there and you wanted to change the size of the square to, let's say, 150. Okay, and we don't want to just delete all our progress. So over here in your design tree, you can see the step we did was the boss extrude. So as we do steps, they will get populated here, and this list will get bigger and bigger and bigger. But if you see the arrow means that there's a sketch associated with this boss extrude. So if I click on the arrow, you'll see that we have the sketch. And you can see when I clicked on it, there's the sketch on the bottom. Now I want to change that dimension. So what I want to do is, I want to edit it. If I click on the sketch, and if I come up here, I can click edit sketch. So if I click edit sketch, it'll bring me back into my sketch. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click the 100 and I'm going to change it to 150, enter. My square has got bigger. I'm going to exit my sketch by clicking on this blue icon, and you'll see that the cube is actually not a cube anymore because our condition is different. We made our square 150, but to be a cube again, it needs to be 150 tall. So now I will go to the boss extrude. Click on boss extrude, edit feature. Not edit sketch anymore, but edit feature. And now I need it to be a cube. I need to change this to measurement here to 150. Click enter, and it is now a cube. Okay, so that's just made a bigger cube, okay, which is 150 by 150 by 150. 150 long, 150 wide, and 150 in height. Okay, now for what we're making today, we're only making it 100. So I'm going to go back over that again. So go back in here. I'm going to change my sketch. Click on sketch, edit sketch. I'm going to go back to the 100, 100, enter. It's gone smaller. Exit my sketch by clicking on the blue icon. Okay, now it's actually too tall, you can see. So now what we're going to do is we're going to the boss extrude. I'm going to close this down. Boss extrude, but edit feature. And instead of being 150 tall, I'm going to make it 100. And now we're back to normal. Okay, just a handy way of going in and out and editing sketches and editing features. You'll always have those options, edit sketch and edit feature. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to look for the top surface. Now sometimes students will come along and they'll orientate the object and we don't know which face is actually the top. Okay, as I've spun it around there, which one is actually the top? So if we press our space bar on our keyboard, the long rectangle, you'll see this orientation box will come up somewhere on your screen and you've got these options. There's top, front, right, left, back, bottom. Okay, and then what I usually like to do though is I click on the isometric symbol here, brings it back to normal. Therefore that there is my top surface right there. So now I want to start a sketch on that surface. So how do I do that? Like we did it here at the start where we click top plane and sketch. Now we're going to click on the surface. You can see a box will open up here. And what we're going to click on is sketch. Now lots of students here might accidentally click on this one, which is edit sketch. Make sure that you click on the sketch icon. So once again, click on the surface, the toolbox will open, click on sketch. Now that's after bringing it to us like a sheet of paper again. Now what I'm going to do at this stage is I'm going to click out here, see it's highlighted blue, click out here and it kind of just goes back. It just means that surface was selected. See how I can click on, click off, click on, click off. Now we're looking at the top of the surface. You'll see here we kind of have our origin in the middle. Now I'm after twisting it around, so if I want to get back, press your space bar, click top, back to normal. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a sketch inside in here. Okay. Some students may have these things on at times as well. If you turn on shadows, real world graphics, sometimes that can put off students because it's bringing in the shadow. So how you change that is if you go to view settings here, just unclick those and just make sure none of these are selected. It's a bit easier to model. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make another square on the inside of it. But a really handy tool that we're going to use, instead of the center rectangle again, we're going to go over here and we're going to use a new tool called Offset Entities. So I'm going to click on that. So in the Sketch tab, Offset Entities, I'm going to set my distance here to 15 millimeters. That's the one I want. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on each line here on the outside. You could also select the face, but I'm just going to do the line just to start off with. Click, and you'll see a little yellow line is after coming in, and that gap there is 15 millimeters because that's the distance. If I change this to 10, it's gone to 10. If I change it out to 5, it's gone closer. Okay, but I want it to be 15. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the other outside line, and then this outside line, and then this outside line. And you'll see there, it's all after going outside. Now the problem I have here is I didn't want that sketch on the outside, I wanted it on the inside. So to change it over to the inside, I'm going to click on this little symbol here called reverse, and it has gone inside. Okay. Now what we want to do is that's exactly what we want to do there. So I'm going to click on that and click the green arrow to accept. Now that has come in and my dimension has come in with it. If your dimension doesn't come in with it, you can just go to your smart dimension and change it. Now this line here, I've got another square on the inside. However, what I want those lines to be is actually construction lines, which are not solid lines, they are dotted lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this, hold down Control, click on this one, and this one. Let go of Control. Come over here, you can see my 3 lines are selected, but I'm going to go down here to my options and click for construction, and then click on the green arrow. And there we go. Now we've got construction lines. And the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go up here to my Sketch tab and click the drop down arrow here for the line and get a center line. Click on that. Now when I've done that, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on this little node here. I want to do a line going across all the way over to here. So click all the way over to here. Click. The tool is still active. So how do I deactivate the tool? Top left of your keyboard, press the escape key, ESC. Now I want that tool again because I want to do another line between the origin and this point down here in the middle. Okay. Now I could go up here and grab it, but a little shortcut, if you press the return key on your keyboard, which is kind of like the upside down L located near the arrow keys, it'll bring back the tool that I was previously using. Okay, now that just works sometimes when you want to get the same tool again instead of having to go up here and select it. Click, I want to do a line down to the center point here, click, deactivate my tool, press escape. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our Sketch tab, and what we're going to create is a series of circles going across here, and then a series of polygons going across here, and then we're going to do a mirror example down here. Okay, but we're going to first start off by doing the circle here on this point and a polygon here on this point, a hexagon. So in my Sketch tab, I'm now going to get a circle tool. No need to click the drop down arrow, just make sure circle is selected, not perimeter circle. Click on circle, and I'm going to start right here at this point. Hover over the point at the top left of your, I suppose, construction square. Click, drag out, click. I'm now going to get my Sketch tab, and this time I'm going to select the polygon. Click on the polygon. Now, very important here, I want a hexagon, so 6 is already selected, but if that was something like 5, well, make sure and just click these arrows. You could either highlight it and change it, or you could just click the arrow to go up, and I want 6. And I'm going to make sure I'm going to use it using an inscribe circle. Okay, so now that I've done that, my tool is ready. I'm going to come to this point, right in here. Click on this point. I'm going to draw this. You can see, you can make it nice and big. I don't want it too small. I'm going to make it actually nice and big first. I'm just going to do a line like that, you could go like that. I'm going to go like this at a little bit of an angle. I do not want to make it kind of horizontal there. I want to kind of go at a bit of an angle. Click. Okay. Press escape to deactivate your tool. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add dimensions. Click sketch, smart dimension. I want this circle. Click on it once, drag out, click again. I want that to be 10. It's gone from blue to black. It's fully defined. And now I'm going to click on this line here. And this is what often can happen. Now I'll actually not click that line. I'll click on this one. See there? Now I do not want the horizontal dimension between them. I want that dimension. So it's hard to select at times, but that dimension there. Click. I want that to be 6. And you can see it's after reducing the size of my hexagon. Okay, but it's not gone from blue to black yet. Press escape to deactivate your tool. Now what I wanted to do with this line here, see this line here that I dimensioned? I want that line to be a horizontal line, so we're going to add a relation to it. If you click on the line, over here straight away, add relations will come up. I want it to be horizontal, not vertical. Click horizontal, and there we go. And it's now fully locked into position. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to learn how to use the linear sketch pattern. So in your sketch tab, we go over here, and we're going to find, we've already used offset entities. Okay. Now we're going to use this guy here called a linear sketch pattern. Now if you click the drop down arrow, you'll see you 2 options. Linear sketch pattern is going to allow us either to move horizontally or vertically. A circular sketch pattern obviously does what it says in the tin, moves around in a circular direction. But we want to go horizontally across. So I'm going to select linear sketch pattern there. Now what I want is, I want a circle, this circle here to be in the middle, and another one here on this point. Okay, and then in a minute I'm going to do 5 hexagons going across, okay, to end up on this point as well. So to do that, I'm going to start with the circle first. First of all, I'm just focused on the direction 1 box. Okay, I'm not focused on direction 2 because I'm just putting them in going across. Okay, so for the direction, it says here x-axis. I'm going to click on that and click delete. It is now empty. So I need to fill this with something. The path I wanted to follow is this line here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to select this line and watch it will go in here. Click line 26 at sketch 2. Perfect. Now I want 3 circles. So here's my number. It's currently on 1. I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3. Now the spacing I need between them is 35 millimeters. Now at the moment, I'll just show you here. I'm going to put in 20 just to show you. Okay. So there's my 20 gone in. Now the last thing I need to do is I put my line in. That's the line I wanted to follow, okay, or the direction I wanted to follow. I put in my spacing between them, and I've said how many I want. Now the last thing I do is I go down here where it says entities pattern, click on the box, and all I do is I select the circle. Now sometimes it may come up where they will go out here to the left instead of the right. We'll see what happens. There we go. You can see there they've gone left. That's my direction. How do I flip the direction? All I do is I come over here and I select this little icon here, reverse direction, click. Now that's how I do it. However, the problem I have at the moment is they're not in the positions I want them, so I have to change my dimension here, and this works out to be 35. Now they're in the correct positions. When I'm done, click on the green arrow to accept. Now all I have to do between them to fully define them, I'm going to click on sketch, smart dimension, I'm going to select this guy and then select this guy, drag up, there we go, green arrow to accept. Okay, we're going to do the exact same with the hexagon, only I want 5 of them. So now I'm going to go into my sketch tab, linear sketch pattern, once again get rid of the line that where they said here, and we're going to click on this line. That's the line I wanted to follow. This time I want 5. Okay, I'm going to click on entities pattern. However, my dimension here that I want is 17.5. Okay, and then entities pattern, for the hexagon I'm just going to simply select it line by line. 1, you'll see they'll all come in there. Perfect, very happy with that. Click the green arrow to accept. Once again, I'll put in dimension X there. Let's see if this works. There we go, it dimensioned it automatically for me. I forgot to select that a while ago. Okay, so that's done. Now if that wasn't selected, all you'd have to do is go up here, sketch, smart dimension, select this point and this point, drag up. Okay, so now that we've done that, what we're going to do now is we're going to come down here and we're going to do 2 slots. So this is a slot for our pens, this is a slot for our pencils. Now down here we're going to make 2 slots for rulers. So to do that, I'm going to come down here to my center rectangle. I'm going to do roughly in the middle. Now don't select, there's no little node there. I'm going to click here. I'm going to draw a little shape like that and press escape to deactivate my tool. Now what I want to do is I want this guy here, see that line there that I'm hovering over, this one? I want that line there to be in line with this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the line, hold down and then hold down Control, bottom left of your keyboard, and click on this line. So I want a relationship between the two of them. So by selecting both of them with Control, I want a relationship, add a relation. I want them to be collinear, in line with each other. So click on collinear. It moved over. Perfect. Now I need to add a dimension. So go Sketch, Smart Dimension. I want the length of this line, if I remember correctly, I think I had it at 25. Perfect. And I want the width. Click on this line here, drag out, and I wanted that to be 4. Okay. Now, I'm going to learn a new tool here. Press Escape to deactivate our dimension tool. I want the exact same shape on the opposite side. So rather than using a linear sketch pattern, we're going to do this thing here called Mirror Entities. So in Sketch, I'm going to go here now to Mirror Entities. Click on Mirror. Entities to mirror, these are the things I want to copy. So I want to copy this line here, this line, this line, and this line. I don't need the ones in the middle. Mirror about is the line I want to mirror it about, axial symmetry. So I'll select the box, and I'm simply going to select this line. And when I select that line, it will come in at the exact same distances out on the opposite side. Click on the green arrow to accept, and we're done. Fully defined, there is our sketches, all done on the top surface. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to Features. This time, instead of Boss Extrude, which is where we pull something up, this time I'm going to go Extrude Cut, where I'm going to cut down into it. And the distance I want to cut down, I'm going to click on Extrude Cut. 100 is already set. Now I don't want it to be 100. You can see here I can pull it up. That's how much it's going to cut down. The distance that I want there is 40. And click on the green arrow to accept. And there we go. And there you go. We've cut our shapes into it. Now, the next little stage we're going to do is we are going to cut the hole for the rubber and for the pencil sharpener in the bottom of it. And that's going to happen on the second video. So that's the first video there, whereby we created the Boss Extrude and we created the cube. We went over kind of editing the parts, editing the sketch and the feature. And then in the second part, we cut the shapes into it by doing some complex sketching there, where we did linear sketch patterns, we did offset entities, and we did mirror entities as well. Okay, so in the sketch tab here, we use the offset entities, we use the mirror entities, and we use the linear sketch pattern. Okay, so that's the first video done there, guys. I hope you found that helpful. Follow along to the second video to complete the object. Okay.